Hello, and welcome back to another episode of All or Not According to Jack with your host, Jack Toledano. As you can see, uh, looking at my background, it says right above my head the word metal. So you know what that means. Time for another episode of the top 3 albums or metal albums by year. So we are now up to 1982 and an exciting year. Uh, as I stated, generally I'm going to, and I'm going to admit I'm a little guilty of this. I am looking for the low-hanging fruit as far as uh, metal albums, and it's so funny how that's like a really popular catchphrase right now, low-hanging fruit. But in any event, so I am looking for metal albums that are more geared toward what I like to listen to. And a lot of times these are going to be my favorite metal bands. On occasion, you're going to have different bands. There are going to be some lean years where there aren't as many, of my favorite bands that have released an album that year. Or as you're going to find once we get to the 90s, some of the metal started to die off, and then you have some other subgenres that started to get more popular. So I did have to kind of put my thinking cap on at that time and listen to some more albums to try and find what I thought my favorites would be, or albums that I wanted to talk about for those particular years. But we're not there yet. We are in 1982, a great year for metal, as you're going to find out. So the first one, these guys, Iron Maiden. So in 1982, I saw them open for Judas Priest, and what an amazing concert that was. Priest was headlining at that time, and they were touring Screaming for Vengeance album, which ironically did not make it into the top 3 tonight. But not to worry, they will be back in a few. Well, I don't want to give too much away, but in any event, so my number one, and again, this is in no particular order. It's just 3 that I really like. So first one that I'm going to talk about is Iron Maiden's The Number of the Beast. Amazing, amazing album. Pretty much every song is a highlight. Start off very fast with Invaders, a little more melodic with Children of the Damned, a great song, a song they played. The Prisoner, We Want Information. Information, another great song. And then, of course, there's 22 Acacia Avenue, the continuing story of Charlotte the Harlot. So side 2, where they just never let up. Number of the Beast, probably their most famous early song, and one of those encore songs. Then, of course, there was Run to the Hills, great song about the plight of the Native American. The only song little off for me, Gangland, but then they pick it up again with Hallowed Be Thy Name, an early epic. They were only doing 7-8 minute epics at that time, but that would change over the years as you get to my I am going to do an Iron Maiden ranking of the albums very soon. I'm just putting some finishing touches on the presentation and the notes, but I will be recording that within the next few days. So stay tuned. Please be patient, and I thank you. But Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast, kick ass. So that brings us to our next one. So let's find it. There it is. Scorpions, Blackout. Scorpions, another band that I really like, but I don't talk about them as much. I did give them a really good review of an album that they released earlier this year, but back to 1982, Blackout, really kick-ass title track, #1. And then, of course, there's can't live without you, bam, bam. There's No One Like You, early FM hit. You give me all I need. And then, of course, there's the song Now. And then another concert favorite, that they talk about and, play in every city, where they say, Tokyo, you are dynamite. Bow, 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 bow. Of course, there's Arizona, another great song. Then it goes to the very plotting China White and When the Smoke is Going Down. But really kick-ass album by the Scorpions. One of my favorite albums, if not the favorite of them. So again, side 1, Blackout, Can't Live Without You, No One Like You, You Give Me All I Need. Then on side 2, of course, there's Dynamite in Arizona. Great album. Pick it up if you haven't. If you haven't, shame on you. All right, so for my third album of 1982, Accept, Restless and Wild. I mean, it does not get any better with them starting the album with a little popping of the vinyl, against the needle, and the German children's song, hi dee, hi do, hi da, and then it goes into that furious riff of Fast as a Shark. Great song. I think I ranked that at #2 on my top songs of Accept that I did with Mr. Pardo about a year or so ago. Of course, there's the song, the title track, Restless and Wild. The side 1 is just amazing. Head of the Pack, Shake Your Heads, Neon Nights, not to be confused with Black Sabbath's song Neon Nights with Mr. Dio. And then, of course, the album ender, Princess of the Dawn. Princess of the Dawn. Princess of the Dawn. So that's another great album. I mean, hell, I would buy that album just for the first side alone. I mean, Fast as a Shark, Restless and Wild, Princess of the Dawn. They're very plotting, melodic Neon Nights. Doesn't get any better than that. So next, probably maybe later in the week, we'll get to 1983. But a couple things that I owe you still. Ranking the albums of Iron Maiden, as I had mentioned, and I still haven't forgot about my formative years of 1981. So that's coming up. Maybe in another week or 2, we'll do something Seinfeld related. Oh, and so Sunday night is the next pay-per-view of AEW wrestling. So Mr. George Parsakian and I will come back and do a recap of that pay-per-view that's taking place in good old Viva Las Vegas. So stay tuned. A lot of great content coming up. I'm your host, Jack Toledano, with All or Nada, according to Jack. If you like what I do, please subscribe. Please write your comments in the comments section. And as we go through each year, please let me know what your favorite albums are. I'd be very curious, more to add to my listening repertoire. So have a good one, everybody. Good night.